advise me, Doctor? What beams you into these things?
Beware Romulans bearing gifts. Happy birthday, Jim.
Romulan ale? Why, Bones, you know this is illegal.
I only use it for medicinal purposes. I got aboard a ship brings me in a case every now and then across the neutral zone. Now, don't be afraid.
2283.
Yeah, well, it takes this stuff a while to ferment.
I'm sure it does, Bones. I'm sure it does. Beware of Romulans bearing gifts. And that's some gift. And this is Sci-Fi Guy, and this is Will. And we're going to be exploring Star Trek booze. Just booze in general, certainly. And Star Trek booze, liqueur, and spirits in particular. Space drinks for every alien race, because on Star Trek, every alien drinks. I think even the Horde must drink. Some kind of like Rockenberry wine. Some kind of, mineral-based liqueur. But we do know as Star Trek fans that the crew of the Enterprise, the various Enterprises, certainly the crew in the station of Deep Space Nine under Quark's fine tutelage and ministrations with his spirits, and Voyager as well. And now, of course, Discovery, Picard, Strange New Worlds. They all drink, and some of them drink to excess. And for just this occasion, I've decided to do a little drinking while recording. So let me get my beverage of choice. I guess that hit the spot. I guess that's qualifying as those ASMR, the autonomous sensory meridian response videos. Those relaxing sensation videos, the people crushing potato chip bags and maybe whoopee cushions or chewing. But I am not drinking alcohol. Full revelation here, all revealing Sci-Fi Guy is I'm drinking a nice Starlight Coke. Coca-Cola Starlight. Very good. But let me talk about revelations, how I got the idea for the episode for tonight's podcast. I was enjoying the other night the great comedy, it's a dark comedy drama, is Sideways from 2004, starring Paul Giamatti and Thomas Hayden Church, Virginia Madsen, and Sandra Oh. And right off the bat here, we have Virginia Madsen. That was in the Voyager episode. She fell in love with Chakotay. She was from a weird race, a weird cloaked sort of antisocial race that didn't want anyone to know of their existence. She fell in love with Chakotay. So she's in the movie. It's a great film. Came out in 2004, and it's basically a booze movie. Quick summary: Sideways. Miles, a struggling writer, and his best friend Jack, a has-been actor, go for a weekend trip in California wine country. Miles wants to golf and drink wine, while Jack, soon to be married, is on the prowl for one last hurrah before his nuptials. Now, what's really interesting about it is, and I did some research afterwards, but it was such a strong, feeling of inclusion and participation that when Sideways came out 18 years ago, how time flies, the wine sales around the country pretty much rose, especially, I guess, in the movie. Miles, portrayed by Paul Giamatti, he loves Pinot Noir. Oh, here's another full revelation. I'm not a drinker at all, so I am a total teetotaler, or I guess a soda Coke drinker. And so Miles, though, in the movie loves Pinot Noir, and he hates Merlot. The competing wine or another wine. And I did, some research and looking it up, and Merlot, the wine that he loathes in the movie, the sales dipped by like 2% or so. And the Pinot Noir rose, I think it's at 16% So they really felt there was a true correlation. And again, after watching it, I was like, I want to go out and taste wine. I'm not a drinker at all. I want to participate. I want to be included. I want to, you know, live this and experience it. And I think there's a lot of factors, but it's just a great, road trip. It's a great road trip buddy movie. And well, Miles is obsessed over wine, and Virginia Madsen, and then Thomas Hayden Church, the buddy isn't so much, but too much, I guess, on Sideways. But if you want a good movie to watch, take a watch. It's great, and that's what lent itself and made me want to record the Star Trek Booze episode. So now, obviously, I guess everyone is drinking Star Trek, maybe a little bit more in the old series, and then of course Next Gen with Guinan and her Whoopi's Guinan 10 Forward Lounge, and then of course Deep Space Nine with Quarks. Voyager, I guess they kind of, she was always talking about her coffee. Janeway ordered coffee, and Neelix wasn't really slinging the booze. So I guess by that time, I don't know, maybe they were like Berman and, the producers are like, let's go easy on the booze. Let's go easy on, we don't want everyone to think Star Trek's full of, alkies. We're not all alcoholics here, but obviously the old series of Next Gen and Deep Space Nine, you had a lot of booze. Now, one of the most famous, if I would say the most famous really, is of course Romulan ale. Now that is one that is, everyone knows. I think even non-fans. And what's really interesting when I was doing the research too with Sideways, with the wine tasting movie, the buddy movie, I'd always thought, I guess everyone kind of knows movies and TV shows where people go, oh, wine, in fact, there's that old Orson Welles commercial. Orson Welles did a Paul Masson wine commercial where we will serve no wine before it's time, or sell no wine before it's time. And I got one of the wine expert blogs here. It says, is it true that wine gets better with age? Aging changes wine, but does not categorically improve it or worsen it. Fruitiness deteriorates rapidly, decreasing markedly after only 6 months in the bottle. Due to the cost of storage, it is not economical to age cheap wines, but many varieties of wine do not benefit from aging, regardless of the quality. So that was a real eye-opening thing. So basically, they want you to drink your wine, snort that stuff and guzzle it, within the first 6 months or so. They don't want you to hang on to it. Obviously, there's lots of instances where collectors and real wine connoisseurs have, hundreds of years old, vintage aged wine. And I guess they know better in some ways. But bottom line, they want you to drink the wine within 6 months or so. All right. So again, getting back to Romulan ale, getting back to the fake fun stuff. Now you can actually buy it, or you could. I was looking around to try to find the distributor, and I couldn't find. I found a couple cases on eBay, and I think on Etsy, and I think you can buy the actual bottle from Star Trek 2, because that's where the first sort of appearance is. When Bones buys it for Kirk for his birthday, and that was the opener clip you heard. So Bones is like, beware of Romulans bearing gifts. So what actually is it? For the wiki, it says Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan is first appearance. Illegal in the Federation, the blue beverage from the Romulan Star Empire was first introduced in The Wrath of Khan and seen again most recently in Star Trek Picard. Romulan ale seen in The Wrath of Khan and a 24th century bottle seen in Star Trek Picard is something that all fans can celebrate, I suppose. So it's back in Picard. Romulan ale was a highly intoxicating alcoholic beverage of Romulan origin, ranging from a pale sky blue to a dark midnight blue. It took a while to ferment, according to Dr. McCoy. He joked that he used it only for medicinal purposes. So, this is, I think, the most popular, certainly most known booze, Trek booze of all. Of course, as we know, he was given the bottle of Romulan ale as a birthday gift. Kirk was able to procure some for his crew and serve it as a state dinner with the Klingon High Chancellor Gorkin, of course, an undiscovered country. When Brigadier Kurla said he thought it was illegal, Kirk Riley noted it was one of the advantages of being 1,000 light years from the Federation headquarters. And this is really cool. It's gone now, but the Las Vegas Star Trek Experience sold bottles and 6-packs of Romulan ale. Oh, maybe that's where some of the photos I got from. But I think another company sold it as well. But it says a blue lager style beer made by Central American brewery Cervecería La Constancia was on exclusive license from Paramount Pictures. And it's funny because I guess during the Star Trek Experience, when Klingon actors were kind of patrolling, they were scripted to claim that you humans cannot hold your neurotoxins. So that was a little nice, experience at the Star Trek Experience. So, so what are the others? We've got, well, Deep Space Nine, of course, had Kanar. It was Cardassian liquor, and of course, good old Damar loved his Kanar. The preferred Cardassian liquor of choice, it's an inky black substance that, by all accounts, is an acquired taste for those of us hailing from outside Cardassia. I remember a couple episodes with, of course, Damar, but then Gul Dukat, and they would pour it. It looks like just corn syrup. I guess it was probably, to me, it looked exactly like just thick corn syrup. So anybody knows what it was, give us a email, a contact. And then we've got Altair water. That was a beverage exported from the Altair system. That was from Star Trek 3. Leonard McCoy, who was under the influence of Spock's Katra, ordered a glass of Altair water at a bar he frequented on Earth. And that's right before the Federation, I guess, cop arrested him, or tried to arrest him and said, "What's wrong? You're coming with me, doctor," and put him in the brig. They had to do a jailbreak. All right, how about an Aldebaran whiskey? Aldebaran whiskey was a strong green alcoholic beverage favored by Guinan, who kept a bottle behind the bar and 10 forward. It was a gift from her friend Jean-Luc Picard. And in 2369, Data served Montgomery Scott the drink of Aldebaran whiskey, although he was unsure of its characteristics beyond its green color. So that's why he said, it's green. That's all he knew, that it was green. And let's see, finally, because there's so many, right? Finally, let's go to blood wine. And this is, of course, the Klingon brew. It was a popular beverage among the Klingons, best served warm. DS9, the way of the warrior. As with many Klingon foods and beverages, it was not for the faint of heart. It was known to be highly intoxicating to the point that most non-Klingons were scarcely capable of tolerating it. It was twice as potent as whiskey. The first human known to consume it was Jonathan Archer while he awaited the verdict of his trial on Narendra 3 in the Enterprise episode Judgment. So there you go. And I know Worf and his buddies, General Martok and all, I'm sure, love their blood wine. And I was reading something. Did anyone know if it was really bloody or not? That it really actually had blood? Or was it just Klingons being dramatic and trying to, prop up their reputations that they are so bloodthirsty they will drink blood wine? There you have it. You've got many more. Maybe we'll do a part 2, because we could go for another several go rounds here. But the rounds are on me and Sci-Fi Guy as great subscribers and listeners. I want to thank you. Thank you for listening. As always, keep on messaging and the feedback coming. We have a bunch of new subscribers, which is great. The last 2 weeks, we got like 5 or 6 new subscribers, which is really cool. So welcome, everybody. And hopefully you'll all subscribing. If not, you can. You can do the paid people or the freebie, either or. You get some free, you get some more with the paid. If not, you keep on, coming up and listening to us through the freebies. Why not? So, live long and prosper. Go drink some Star Trek booze. And I think I'm going to try to track down some Romulan ale and see if it's really all that they say it is.